Namaste, greetings. This is Ujjval from the Geo-Negative Axis Institute. I am the presiding teacher, founder of GNA. But I do spiritual programs as well here. So today for Ratri, for the holy day of Shiva's appearance, I am normally going out of my function because I've been doing other work to bless, to give my my regards and my love to Shiva on his holy appearance day. So I hope all of you are having a great Shivratri, and if you haven't, that you can still remember Shiva and pray to him, you know, for your deliverance in this world and in the next. The next body is the most important part, and that's what Shiva teaches us most. So here, I'm going to start with Shiva Purana. Now I'm just going to go through it chanting Om Namah Shivaya 3 times. Ready? Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So thereafter, Brahma and other gods, the sages, the siddhas, and others offer their salutations to Vishnu. Thereafter, Shiva praised Vishnu in the presence of all, and getting pleased, he bestowed several other boons on him. Shiva said, "You at my command henceforth would become the creator, preserver, and destroyer of the world. You will chase, one second. You will chase, so you immensely variously, you will be the Lord of the universe, adorable in the world, immensely various. You will chastise the evil people and become the bestower of Dharma, Artha, and Kama." So Shiva here is giving Vishnu this go in Satikand, page 25, and he says, "You will be the Lord of the universe, adorable in the world, immensely valorous, besides being invincible in the battle, even by me. You accept the 3 Shaktis conferred by me on you. You will engage yourself in several types of sports, and your glory would spread in all 3 lokas. O Vishnu, whosoever would be jealous of you, I shall punish him, making all the efforts. O Vishnu, I shall bestow the excellent moksha, liberation, to their devotees. You accept this Maya from me, which can hardly be withstood by the gods and others, and by which the entire world can be captivated or made unconscious. O Hari, you are actually my form. This Brahma is my right arm. You are the creator of Brahma and would become his sustainer and as well." So here Rudra Shiva is giving the go to Vishnu. So we understand the trinity of these gods, and this is where it's from. It starts from Shiva. So Shivratri, it doesn't exactly start from Shiva, but ultimately it does. Shambhu is the starter of the material worlds. Now he is bestowing this upon Vishnu and Brahma, but he's saying to Vishnu, you are going to be me. So some or other, you know, you are actually going to be like me, I guess, in the causal ocean, the causal creation. So therefore, your Brahma is like my right arm. He's also like me. He's anga of me, an ums. So you're going to be his sustainer too. So Brahma is like the soul, the perfected being, right? So they're also showing in the Trinity that not only is there a being which Shiva makes, that is Vishnu, and who is the greatest of all, right? The creator of this universe, the one who even does Krishna's pastimes when Krishna doesn't come. So he's like the son of this universe, the son of God, right? But then you have Shiva, right? But then you have like Brahma in this world, who's becoming like the chosen, so that you can become great. Don't think so. People say, "Oh, I'm chosen," right? No. Vishnu's chosen. Brahma is chosen. You see what I mean? The sun god is chosen. You're a material being that's living on an earth that is, very minute, let's just say. We don't need to get exaggerant, but we know how minute it is. We are like, put it this way, in comparison to other planets, planetary systems and stars that are not even that far from us, we are considered to be the size of ants, if not, what is that? Germs, insect, below insects even. So this is understood then, that you can become even Brahma. So people say, can you become God? I mean, there is an ability to become God in a sense, because Brahma is like a god. So much so, let me tell you another pastime for Shiva in his pastimes, that Brahma, he got this post to be like a jiva. So let's say you sitting there could take you very long. Maybe you did it faster than others. And 15 million years from now, you became a Brahma, let's say. So that got to your head somehow. That's how much that post is given. It's given like, not only that the Lord, this is how you know it's real, because it's guaranteed, it's warranty, it's real, it's truthful. Whereas something sells you somebody, they say, okay, Spider-Man is Spider-Man, but why is Spider-Man always Spider-Man? Why doesn't he run out of this? I mean, what is it? So, there's things that you can calculate and try to, but with this, it's real. Why? Because a personality like Brahma, he has to attain it, right? And they're giving you the increments and showing you that he himself can fall from this position, but he's given this position because he attained it. And then they're showing you. So if you want to be part of it, you want to be part of the universe, or you want to be a god, this is a position, Brahma. And this position is so real. He said, I'll give you the Maya. This is a very good, what Shiva says here, because it has to do with what another pastime, very interesting, very, famous pastime of Shiva, of Sati, actually. Sati, of which she committed her own immolation. So Sati, when she did that, she was also in this state of complete dedication to Shiva, that she herself, even though as a god, she reversed it on the Maya side again, because it's illusory, right? She went into the Maya side of saying, this is my father. I don't want to be part of this personality because he's made offenses to Shiva. So we can see how drastic offenses are. Don't make offenses to pure devotees, to Shiva, to Shaivites, anyone. Don't aggress them, because you can see with that the Lord herself, the Jagat Janani, the one who even made Shiva, the agency behind Sankarshan, right? Behind Krishna and Sankarshan is first Devis, goddesses, mothers of the universe. They come as the agency. And then from Shambhu, and then these agencies, these goddesses are like they're in charge of the universe. They hold dominion just like as Shiva holds. They're like a companionship, a partnership, just like you see. So this Devi, Sati, she goes into a state of what we just read, of illusory energy. Krishna, that Shiva is saying to Vishnu, don't worry, this energy is so looped, it's so duped, it's so illusory that not even the demigods can withstand it unless they do function. And this also brings you to what? If you know a sadhu who can look through it, who can see through the energy and can give you real understanding, real verdict of what life is, then you need to surrender to that being and serve him. Otherwise, you won't get advanced. If you try to steal from him, like they try to do now so many times, the other people, or boycott them and then steal from them and try to placate them, you'll never get the real results, and you'll never get close to these personalities. These personalities, you think God is not conscious? Where do you get your consciousness from? Where do you think the most, listen, Gandhi, the person that have cracked things, the person that became, they cracked the codes, they cracked the any type of any bar, they broke it. Who, as Tesla, Einstein, they all were into devotional. They were all into God and the Vedics. So back to Sati, this great goddess who took the form of Sati before the creation, to enroll the creation, to get souls to heaven. This side of the creation, our souls that are troubled are dealing conditionally. Sometimes they're eternally conditioned. I've seen this now. I've understood it more. Dealing with people firsthand on bad terms, let's just say, but understanding person's psychosis is that there's a word eternally conditioned. You have to be careful. Don't think you're not eternally conditioned. To not be eternally conditioned is meaning you don't like sex, first of all. You don't like anything sinful. You don't like to engage really. Let's say you like something, but it's wrong, right? So to be liberated from something, first of all, your ideals have to be liberated from them. You can't be like, oh, yeah, I'm eternally, but I still, indulge in this and I find this, more important than anything. That's not how it works. So to be a conditioned soul is a very common thing. But Sati here is not. Now, you don't want to be a conditioned soul. You want to rise out of it. You want to rise out of your mental prism that persons have falsely made for you from their media, from their hype, right? And you want to become fully believing in the Lord. So Sati, she was part of this Maya. Maya Devi, they call her also. She's part of this Maya. And she is this Maya. But her herself was part of it because she got involved with it. And because her father was making offenses to Shiva, she gave her body up. This happened. Okay? And, that became a terrible thing. But it happened so that Earth was blessed by her body, which was remaining pure. It was a remnant of purity. So this was many, many years ago when the gods were on Earth, populating and stuff. The Lord themselves would be here. How often, how long is not fully as understood, but they would be from between here and Swarga, and there was even portals from what I understand, so they can get there fast. They didn't have to travel. They had, through because this is all illusory, so they have, they were able to cut a thing through the back, let's say the back wall of it, that you go straight from here to heaven or to the lower planets, which could be 100 million miles away or something, or 10 million miles away. So that's how sophisticated they had it. And Sati then gave up her body, and then from all that of her body, this is Parvati, the wife of Shiva, female Shiva. Her body was distributed by Narayan's chakra. So Narayan finally said, they saw Shiva in mourning, and as Shiva started to calm down with Sati's body, and he was holding it and dancing in like a tandav, just like he was basically in like a form of destruction that he wanted. I guess he wanted us to know, and he wanted the people to know how infuriated he really was and how sad he was to lose her. So we should always remember this for Shiva and his service. Don't be just for yourself or what you think is great or what you think is bad or what else it is. Just some couple be couple. Be for Shiva. Shiva was so upset when losing Sati. So we should remember that and understand what the harm of Vaishnava Parad does. When you say, I don't want that devotee, I don't want to give that person forgiveness, I don't want to help them. I don't, this is such a grave sin that you cannot understand. To ban people, to not accept their apology or whatever it is, or to not make amends with persons, is the sin that we're seeing here. This is how grievous it is to the creation. And it bans you from heaven because of this, what I was going to put here. The next what I wanted to also, O Vishnu, whosoever would be jealous of you, I shall punish him, making all the efforts, O Vishnu, I shall bestow the excellent moksha to your devotees. So he's saying, listen, I have all the mantras for you ready. You're going to be the Lord here, part of the Supreme. You're supreme because you're with us. You're the Supreme Lord with us. Now, even your devotees are going to have a special moksha. Beautiful. And we know that as different by Kunta. This is the beginning, long time ago. Or different. There's satellite heavens within. Just like there's a satellite Swarga, so there's a satellite Vaikuntha. And they have photos of this. They've seen universes that have lights that are like 60 trillion times more stronger than our sun. The whole place is lit up. The whole side of that space is lit up. So we know these places exist. They're satellite, what we call heavens, of eternal heavens, where personalities go first there, intermingle, and either they're able to go back and forth, or through the eternal heaven, cross the eight layers and the Brahma Jyoti, or they have to achieve it there and then go there eternally, and they're ready. So, nonetheless, says, you accept this Maya from me, which can be hardly be withstood by the gods. So, anything else I want to say here? So that's the one part I wanted to mention that. And then it goes, living here, you protect the entire world by incarnating on each variously and diverse way protection. Your place in my loka would be great prosperity and glory, which would be known as Goloka. O Vishnu, your incarnations for the protecting of all beings on the earth. My devotees will behold these with pleasures through my blessings. Sri Rama said, in this way, Lord Vishnu received from Shiva the unperishable fortunes. Shiva, the Lord of Uma, on the other hand, getting free, started living over the Kailash mountain with the attendants. Since then, the Lord Lakshmi took the form of a cowherd and lovingly going to Goloka, became the Lord of the cows, cowardness and cowards, and wandering there at their pleasure. And Vishnu, getting pleased, started protecting the entire world. So, this is explaining Vishnu is given, as I said, a satellite Golok, right? Or the beginning of the creation. So, there's both there. Both are there. He's giving him satellite, but also in the spiritual world that made these worlds. Before this, it's coming from there, Golok. And Golok actually made Kailash in the beginning. That's the understanding of Bhagavat Puran. That Krishna is the source of everything, right? The source of all incarnations, not only his own, but of all incarnation. And, there's some understandings in this. People have different opinions. But ultimately, it works out as we see in Bhagavad Gita. Because Bhagavad Gita, Krishna declares it there fully and boldly. And persons that live by Bhagavad Gita and know that it's true. Not only that, it's proved science. Relativity, ether, all these ideas came from Bhagavad Gita. People didn't have the idea that there was atoms everywhere, there was this and that, there was eternal, there was universes and all that. These were all from Bhagavad Gita that were there for thousands of years before any of this in print. So, as I said, as I was getting to, he gave him this satellite world, and So now I'm going to go. So some demon has stolen away. Oh God. So this is something to do with Ram. So Sri Ram, right? In this way. So, oh God, it's Sati. I arrived in the forest with Sita and Lakshman. Vishnu, getting pleased, started protecting the entire world. He incarnated 7 times at the command of Shiva, became the protector of the world, and the point of time Vishnu, as the command of Shiva, incarnated in the world of Zalam and Bharata. So this is Brahma explaining him. O goddess Sati, I have arrived in the forest with Sita and Lakshman, in command, but rather have faced the miseries here because of luck. Some demon has stolen away my wife, known as Sita. Getting separated from her, I in the company of my brother, am searching for her. O Mother Sati, I could have audience with you, and by your grace, and I'm sure to meet your welfare. By meeting you, it would be a result in a boon in getting back Sita. By your grace, I am sure to kill the wicked demon. There is no doubt about it. So this is the meeting that Sati that they had when Shiva was lost. When Sita was lost. In this matter, we fortune me today that I could have an audience with you. When both of you are as graceful as someone, be sure to become the excellent one. Thus speaking, repeatedly offering his salutations to chase Shiva, with utmost, that's Gauri, Durga, devotion, and with her permission, Rama kept on wandering in the forest, and the goddess Sati, listening to the words of Rama, who had controlled his senses organs, started praising Rama, who was engaged in devotion of Shiva, and felt delighted at heart. She felt painful at heart at her performance. With her gloomy and faded face, she returned to Shiva. While walking on the way back, she was thinking again and again, I don't believe in the words of Shiva, and thought ill of Rama. Not what reply shall I give to Shiva? Thus thinking, she felt extremely painful. She was feeling painful, and her appearance faded out, and feeling depressed, she ultimately went to Shiva and offered salutations to him. Finding her so depressed, Shiva inquiring her welfare, asked lovingly, how did you put him to the test? Listening to words of Shiva, she went to him and said, I have not put him to the test. Then she stood there, having been depressed. Thereafter, Shiva, the great yogi, well versed in the various types of sports, resorted to the dhyanam, or yogic power, and learned about the entire story of Sati. He was reminded of his vow at the time of anger of Hari, which was desired to be fulfilled by Rudra, the one who honored the vow. At that point of time, Shiva felt painful that he, the creator, the spokesperson protected by Dharma, sport like that. Shiva said, in case I love Sati, as I did earlier, then my vow would be shattered. Since I happen to be the follower of the worldly traditions, Brahma said, thus thinking variously, Shiva followed the Vedic traditions, discarded Sati from his mind, and saved his vow. So this is pertaining to the meeting of Rama and Sati. And it was that she kind of it was that he Mother Sati could have the audience with you by your grace, still me the welfare. By having meeting with you, it will be a result of bringing back Sita. By your grace, I'm sure to kill the wicked demon. So what I remember is that she took the form of Sita, kind of like to see, but then right away Rama could sense that it was that. So that's another pastime of Rama. And Shiva was, this is the thing, was Rama. So she was also known as Ram. Sorry, she was known as Rameshwar, the Lord of Rama. And Rama is also meditating on Shiva constantly. So this is the position of Shiva we should understand. Shiva is not a lower position to Vishnu. Shiva is actually worshipped by Gopeshwar and Krishna, the Mahakrishna. So it's not that Krishna, the Lord himself, is saying, I'm the Lord, nobody else can be worshipped. That's not his mood. His mood is that he wants everyone to be worshipped that is qualified as Shiva. You understand? It's just like when people ask me, why Ujjval, do you have this and that? People try to pretend that I don't want to help people or give them power or light to God. I say, no, that's the opposite. I want actually to be in a place where people are more advanced than me spiritually. People have spiritual ability to give me and spiritual knowledge to give me. Not that I'm giving and then I have to fight everybody who wants to have it or wants to be better than me. This is what's happening in my life in the current system, in the current malfunctioning system. But anyhow, back to Lord Shiva. Shiva is the great. We pray to him, and this is the year to remember Shiva. It's the time to turn to Shiva for all worship. Why? Because Krishna says, those who love my devotees, they're not my real devotees. But those who worship my devotees are my real devotees. So if you love Krishna, Christos, you also have to love his son, Shiva. You know what? I was thinking the only begotten son, because a lot of things came out of the Bible. So if the only begotten son would mean Shiva. Now, if Krishna made Balaram separate Baal as a brother, and then his first creation, let's say that's under him, that's doing something for him, would be his son. Now, it was not like a mundane son, but it was given to him. But the name Yeshua, Shiva, could also then be the only begotten son, the first son. And then, because it's understood after him comes all the other creation, all the mundane creation. So it's not that he's the only son, but the only son in the material world. That could be something to look at too, by the way. For those who are grammarians and philosophers, it is something also I brought up and thought of. So Daksha was a father of Sati, and we have to remember now. I just want to remember. It's the sacrifice of Shiva and the sacrifice of Sati that is so important here, that we should analyze, and we should give full honor and full praise in our devotion and pray to it, that we can be that inspired or that lucky to serve them, because we see both here. So we see Shiva, first of all, he's giving position to somebody, right? And his self-sacrifice. And he's also tending towards a father-in-law who is against him. That's another thing I was saying. So these persons, the Maya gets so strong that even these high creators like Brahma and Daksha, who was supposed to be so advanced as a king, as a creator, so good at it, so mystified, but it got to his head, and then he denounced Shiva as like unimportant, and he's in this incarnation. Why do we need, if he is Sankarshan, whatever, why do we need, And then he didn't understand he was a manifestation of Sankarshan Shiva. Because of this Maya. It was so strong that Brahma, long time ago, didn't understand Shiva's position, and he was punished for it. But now Daksha was so bashful at Shiva before and then now at this yajna that he didn't invite him nor his wife Sati. Shiva. So Sati went there and immolated herself in this sacrifice. That is a high level of sacrifice, and you can't even hear your husband, who is the Supreme Lord's, being tarnished, right? But we shouldn't imitate. If we have this feeling, go away and go somewhere else. If you're not educated enough to cut their arguments and leave them shameful as they are, then you go away, take bath, and pray to the Lord to be purified, and the Lord will be kind to you. but you should not even hear the blasphemy of pure devotees, Lord. So that's where this comes from. Now with Shiva, same idea. We have self-sacrifice, that he is giving everything to Vishnu. He could be the worshipful, the one in the front and the center. But he's there. He's still there. But he's giving this position to Vishnu as a universal order, as a remedy, as a show of reaching out to the living entities, us. So it's not for us to declare who's God, what is God, only one God, my God, you're no, it's not for you to declare. The gods have declared themselves. The Lord has declared himself. Krishna has declared himself. Shiva has declared himself. You don't need to declare. And has declared who is in charge. So all you need to do is follow 100%. Follow with your heart. Don't be like Daksha. Because what happened with Daksha, it ended up costing many in there. Even Chandra. Because of Veerbhadra. Chandradev was utterly hurt. It was like he cut part of his body off or something, and he was dying. He was a demigod. We can imagine the moon is a lustrous being that glows. If he's in front of us, we would see him glowing. If he's by other beings like him, they would just see normally, like how we see each other. But he's imagined a celestial being, and he's at this fire sacrifice, and he was even killed. He was even partly almost killed. He had to go beg for mercy from Shiva directly after. Even women Devi, goddesses that were there and heard the blasphemy and withstood Sati immolating herself and didn't leave or condemn them, their noses were cut. They had to go to Shiva and bless them to get the noses back, and beg forgiveness. So there is a remedy to offenses. It's begging forgiveness. Even Daksha his family and all begged Shiva. Oh, we know you, Shiva. I'm sorry. We're always, on your side. Is it that? They were begging. And then Shiva granted him a head that was like an animal's head for some time, as some kind of a punishment. But eventually, it goes back. We understand. After that, after some time of that punishment, after doing some tapasya, then something is given back. We understand. That's how it works. So, but we see now Veerbhadra he's enraged, killing, going left and right, everybody that is not surrendering to Shiva. And Dadicha was a great saint that even challenged Vishnu at the time of this. So even Vishnu, given this post from Shiva directly and understood everything, was given this power, to be the operator of the universe, was also conflicted in this. But he wasn't punished. He was doing it. Why? Because he was given the duty out of Vishnu to protect his devotees. So he was doing his duty from Shiva and from the divine Krishna, Krishna, ultimately. So then Shiva then ended up giving Daksha his head back after it was cut, and then restoring everything. And then the body of Sati was given away, was spread it out, and then later on, she was in the other dimensions that are not visible to this, that they can see, they can contact, but she remained there for some time till the right time to come back, and she came back as Parvati, and then she had Ganesh, and she had first she had Kartikeya, and then Ganesh, like that. So that was that's the the pastimes of Shiva, some of them. There's many more, many great, and we pray to Lord Shiva on this day to bless us, to free us from from this stronghold of Maya, because he's the one. Just like if you're in something, let's say you have a car, who are you going to go to? The persons who know about the car? The persons who build the car is the most person that's going to know about that car, if it's a special car. So it's the same way. We're in this Maya field. Sure, we could go to persons, but we also have to go to the Lord directly and say, please, guide us. Guide us through this distracting, terrifying world sometimes it can be. This confusing world it can be. We don't want it to be confusing, right? But help us through those times. And please give us, taste. This is the main thing. You need taste in your devotion. Because if Brahma, if them could come, if Daksha and all these celestial beings can forget that they should leave and defend Shiva, and it's wrong to have blasphemed Shiva and treated him that way. Maybe they had a little jealousy in them and had little spots, whatever it was. You understand? People get power, they want to be better. Just like we see in this world. One person becomes a president, everybody wants to, then all of a sudden everyone wants to hate him. Now more and more with media. Before it wasn't like that. But with media, it's like that always now. It's too much. So it was like that. They could have been, since the creation was kind of new then, or the earth, they could have been kind of caught up with that idea that Shiva, we rather stay neutral and see where it goes. Many people do that. Never. Not with God, not with Supreme. With good and truth, you always go to the truth and you stay with them. You become a slave. Shimar points out, all risk, no gain. That you were going to risk everything, right? Just to serve God, but you cannot expect a gain. God gives you a gain, fine. But don't expect it. So that's the policy that you need to implore in your own devotion. No, all risk, no gain. I'm ready to do anything. For you, Lord, I'm ready to do anything. You got to say, I'm ready to fight for you. I'm ready to protect for you. I'm ready to work for you. I'm ready to even you leave the body for you. If that's what is needed. For you, my divine Lord, Shiva, Shambho. But you have to be like that. And remember that even if the sun and the moon that you're seeing could become distracted, or the moon, for instance, could become distracted by, quarreling and, get caught up and not, fold to Shiva right away like they should have, then what chance do you have? Why, you have to be on top of your game, and you have to always admit to yourself, you have jealousy, you have envy in you, and if you don't silence it, you don't destroy it, it's gonna put it this way. Sridhar Maharaj would say, one layer of ego may consume many births. You can be born again and again as a yogi, just because you keep these little jealousies, these little, I want to be better than him. Not even seeing that he's a temporary body. Not even seeing you're in a temporary body. You could be better than that. You could be way better than that. You're supposed to look at the sun and see that. I mean, it's physics. It's in your face. It shouldn't be so hard. For the demigods, it was very hard. Very, very hard. We can't even imagine. They're gods. Some of them had all the powers already and everything. They could, turn. They could make objects appear right away. They can move their bodies here and there, fly, everything. They could travel, just to go through portals. So for them, it's very hard. But for you, it's not hard. You're in a material body. You see the sun is better than you. You see that the moon is made of better material than you. That's the word. Better materials than you. You're not made of sun. You're made of ignorance. You have to you have to go to the bathroom after. You have to do this. Even the food you have is partly tainted. It's not like your body is this vessel of light that's just booming and, you're not there. That's the spiritual body. So you have to remember that if you can make a mistake, that you can make a mistake 100%.